Travis is ready. That's the first time Travis heard that. Is it?
I believe so.
Okay. What do you think? You were kind of getting harassed a little bit, or you, Thomas, I can't remember who. Someone was harassing you about not liking that. They weren't very happy that you didn't like it.
No, I like it. No,
but you just never heard it.
I never heard it.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. So today, let me open this first real quick.
Yeah. Start the show. Ooh, a little sploosh.
We're going to talk about getting better. I know it seems like a pretty simple topic, but it's just something we always talk about.
How do you get better?
No, not how do you get better, but what's behind it. You're trying to get better every year, right? You only get better by trying to get better. I'm just saying, like, every year, what do we do? Like 2 months before season, we're talking about how we can attract more birds into our spread, what kind of gear. So we're just going to talk about that today. So I don't know. Let's start off with tactics. I mean, let me preface this by saying, if you are if you're competitive or you're just a go-getter, or to me, the goal is always to get better, right?
Yeah.
In anything you do.
Unless you've attained perfection.
Which I don't know anybody that has, so.
You're looking at him. Every time you look in the mirror. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody's perfect.
So, something me and Thomas and Travis are always doing.
You think everybody's like that, though? Or do you
I don't
think
know.
some people even care?
Well, and I want to encourage people that are listening to this to, like, kind of have that mindset to get better.
I think it
right?
comes...
I think waterfowlers, honestly, are really like that.
I think there's a wide array of people. I think some people that have grown up having their own private land and having access, really good access. I think growing up in that where it's not really like a big deal or whatever, I'm just going to go jump shoot some ponds since I've been
30 minutes
since I've
before
been five years old. I really don't think there's a whole lot into that. I mean, there is a big difference in any any kind of game you're going for, waterfowl, big game, whatever. Like, 100% fair chase, public land versus private land that's never been hunted. It's only hunted like every so often, whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like some people got to work for it harder. In other words.
So you're thinking about how to make it more successful.
Well, yeah, I just think that, you know what I mean? Like some guys don't really care that much and they could still shoot a lot of birds.
Well, and that's why they don't care, right? Is what you're saying.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I see some of these places these guys got, they put work into it. They're planting and doing stuff, which still boggles my mind that you can do that. Well, but hey, I would do it.
We would do it too.
Oh, in a heartbeat. No, I'm not down in it.
We don't.
So I'm saying they may have it easier during the season because the birds are just flocking in there. But at the same time, they spend all the work planting and getting the stuff ready for the season. That's a lot of work too.
That would be fun. That would be cool though. I would love
You wouldn't look at it as work?
No, I would. It's still work. You can't just say like, oh, that's still work. But I'm saying that would be kind of enjoyable.
No, I would love to do that.
Be able to plant like, I'm going to plant here and this is where we're going to put our blind and all that.
It'd be a blast.
That'd be awesome. Pretty cool. Hopefully maybe someday we can get a spot like that.
That would be cool. Was that you that showed me that video of that guy up in California that made that place, bought that property, and then got it all set up? I think that was you.
Yeah.
That was really cool. That was like cool. Such fun. That'd be so fun to do that.
To have your own piece of property.
And then just set up how you want.
Specifically for that. I think that was a cattle ranch or something previously. I don't know if he still ran cattle out there. If it's just strictly a duck club, but yeah, you watch those guys that have like property and they manage them for whitetail and other guys that manage for ducks specifically, and there is work that goes into it. Equipment.
Yeah, farm equipment,
watering, things like that, watering.
All kinds of stuff.
Different crops like that. So yeah, I think those guys do their work,
and it takes money,
and they reap the fruits of the rewards with a better duck hunting opportunity than what us we do. We can't really. So for us, it's a different thing that we're trying to get better at. We're trying to get better at basically refuge hunting because that's predominantly what we do.
Yeah.
So how can we
Refuge
get better
rats.
versus they can get better by let's put the blind over here, you know, or let's this water needs to be a little bit deeper, a little more shallow,
Yeah.
or let's plant this in here because it attracts ducks.
Or this kind of
So-
ducks, or specific type of ducks.
Yeah.
Pintails. This is open water. Yeah. So on this topic, let's kind of just go over a few things talking about getting better. So like decoys, I guess, I feel like over the last several years, I feel like every year we talk about it, we have a new idea, like how to get better or something to try.
Something different to try.
Because we are trying to get better. So,
But it seems like every year, like since I've started duck hunting, I've used like a lot of the decoys for a lot of years, but it's like every year I do purchase something else, and it's just an attempt to like, okay, this will make it easier.
so make it better. I like this better.
and just make it a more enjoyable experience overall as I'm out there duck hunting. I just thought of different things today. I've talked about designing, my own decoy cart, or just little, we call it
Ambitious.
anemones. What?
Yeah.
Different-
Amenity.
or whatever you put things that
Amenities,
you would add to it to make it just a little bit better.
And
Right.
tweak it to fit your needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've talked about making carts and stuff for a long time. Just specifically, I've seen some on the refuge I took pictures of, and like I'm gonna make it like that,
Yeah.
And this is a good idea, and this suits my needs and fits my needs. But like, there's so many different styles of hunting, and so many places across the United States where it, like, some places we've been, you can't take a cart. You know,
Because of the terrain.
the terrain, you can't push a cart.
Yeah.
You just
You
gotta haul it on your back.
You gotta have it
Yeah.
on your back.
Like some people, when they watch that video I did of the blind bag, they're like, "Oh, I gotta use a backpack because I walk in way far."
Yeah.
Which the point of that backpack's to be compact and like minimalist.
Yeah.
It's just
Light, packing light.
I'm not trying to sell that. thing,
There's so many. That's the thing why you can go through so many different pieces of like gear and options instead of just having one thing, because unless you just hunt the same place, like if you have your own land, you hunt the same place. Yeah, you don't need a whole bunch of different things.
Once you got.
But if you're traveling to different refuges, if you're hunting rivers, you're hunting refuges, you're hunting marsh, whatever. If you're canoeing in, if you're walking in, if you're biking in, whatever, like there's a lot of different things that you can change as far as gear wise. You know what I mean? Decoy count, type of bags you're bringing, just carts, bikes, whatever,
And I think that's why we try and get so much stuff. It's not. Part of it is enjoyable getting new stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But in all reality, though, we're thinking like when we bought those compact blind bags, I'm specifically thinking of exactly where I'm going to use that bag.
Yeah.
And maybe only that place that I use it. But that will be way better for what I'm doing and getting back there with the minimal things. I don't want to take no more than I have to, and that bag is perfect for it. Whereas most of the time, that other blind bag, is what I need. Do I really have to have that? No, not necessarily, but I'm trying to get better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and little side note, even as far as blind bags go, dry bags actually make a really good blind bag as well.
Mm.
You don't have to worry about nothing, even though there's not.
Lay it in the water.
Yeah, I did that a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 2-pack of dry bags. One was really small and had one single strap that you could throw over your
I like that
back
one,
or whatever. And then there was another one that was a little bit bigger, had 2 straps like a backpack. And if times are really tough, you don't got to worry about nothing. Whatever you got, ammo, any food, your license, whatever's in there, you can just literally, if there's nowhere to put your blind bag, you can just literally set it in the water right next to you. It's right there, just little things like that. Sometimes, like you said, everywhere is different, but if you don't have the luxury of hunting off dry ground, or you can't have your cart right next to you because there's not very good cover or whatever, and you want your stuff right next to you, that's just another option.
Yeah.
So
what do you feel like you've got that you did this year that is going to help you probably be better this year?
Well, I've tried to be, and I haven't done it much this last week, but just get on the elliptical and trying to get my legs in better shape because last year I suffered.
I'm glad you
for
brought
it.
that up. Honestly,
I suffered for it bad
physical.
last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the spots we hunted, I could tell that it was affecting.
Does that bother you if I say anything about that?
I don't care less. But like spots, because I've always been somebody that
You've been in
shape.
really shape.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in shape and
Great at
in hall,
sports, softball, and all these
and then
things.
get
Like
out of
super
shape,
athletic.
and then it affects you hunting it. And being in shape is key to longevity. I think.
Well,
of
you
duck
are.
hunting.
You're not no spring chicken either.
No,
You're at how 47
I'll be 48 in November. Yeah,
November. So I mean, honestly, you have a lot of drive in you still. To me, you don't remind me of one of those. I mean, I know some guys that are getting close to 50. They just like act like they're done. You're not like that at all. You have the drive in you. You're very competitive. You have the drive. It's just like you said, your physical things that you let kind of get out
my
of.
job. I let it, sitting
And
down all
me
day.
too. I'm younger than you, and I'm
and
overweight.
I think you hit that point of age where no matter, it's harder. It's just
Oh,
hard.
dude,
Your
yeah.
metabolism slows down.
Look at him. He just
And you're just not what you were before, but that's no excuse to give up. And so I've been trying to get on the treadmill and gonna hit it again this week and get back on it. Still got 2 months to season? A month? I don't know.
a month, dude. Actually, like a month and a half.
September
A month and a half.
7th.
We're at the 7th, so a month and a half.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to stay consistent on the elliptical machine, build my legs up. Hopefully drop a few pounds.
Believe it or not, I've lost. I weighed last night, and I was shocked because my flight suit, my boots, all that stuff, and just got done eating, and I'm basically down to like 217. Not with all that stuff on, but I'm saying that's my weight. I minus that, and so now I'm down 9 pounds. It's not coming off very fast.
No, but if you lose inches,
dude,
you know
but
what I'm
I
saying?
feel
You can
better.
tell. And you get
I mean,
your muscles get tighter. They're more used to being moved. They're not locking up or whatever.
dude. Well,
soreness, because that's one of the issues I had last couple of years. Is just I'd come home and I would get muscle spasms. I mean, killer muscle spasms. And every time I watched Across the Pond, I knew it was going to happen that night.
did you have it that day that took you a while to get across that pond?
No, I was just beat. I didn't have anything left in the tank.
And that's weird because that was the last day of season.
The mud was thick, and
Dude,
I don't know what it
brutal.
was.
What, Trav? What, like being serious? What's that like?
What's what like?
Like, because I don't obviously have no like I don't
Oh,
really
it's-
have any.
it's-
I don't
it's
have any real
frustrating.
room. No, listen. I don't really have any room to talk. But last year before season, I was like in really good shape, and I could tell right now that like I am nowhere compared to what I was. But from your standpoint, like I know that eventually one day that's gonna happen to me. You know what I mean? Like, what's that like to think like I remember when this was?
No, it's just frustrating because you know that you can get back there, but it takes work to get back.
What it takes.
It didn't happen overnight to get where I'm at.
That's the
It's
thing.
not gonna happen overnight to get back to the place. And so many times I think in this society is you want instant gratification. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's just that day to day. You know what I'm saying? Building block of doing something.
Yeah.
And life happens. It seems like you get on a roll doing something, and then something comes up, you get sick, or oh, we're gonna go here this evening, and you're like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes the next day, and you can get out of that routine, and not get caught in a positive rut, but in a negative rut.
Yeah.
And so and
Everybody's done it.
and every year
With
it's like,
every
I'm not-
different thing in
Next
their
year I'm
life.
not gonna be like this. Next year I'm not gonna be like this. But time just goes by, and things so there's no excuse for it.
No.
You know?
No, I
But it's just
wasn't
making
saying
a
that
daily
in that way at all.
commitment.
I was just basically meaning like everybody's done that in probably every aspect of their life. And like you said, you've been in that best shape of your life. You know what it took to get to there.
Yeah.
And
But
the
you know
fact of knowing
what was
like
bad though is before.
In other
everything
words,
I
going
did every
backwards.
day, I was just naturally in shape. I mean, I could go out to the pond
but look how active you were.
and
though.
literally run across a pond. But I was playing basketball,
Right.
a couple nights a week.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I rode bike all the time, and now I don't do that.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't happen overnight, and so I'm not gonna get back overnight.
Yeah.
But it's hard to just do that day by day by day. Just staying consistent with it.
Well, honestly, we abuse our bodies when we're young, and we don't reap no punishment for it. We don't.
You don't think it's going to catch up to you, but trust me, and two, I'm carrying more weight. You know what I'm saying now, but still, there are things that I know it's from injuries that I had when I was young that affect me now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I messed my knee up snowboarding, and sometimes it just throbs. I hurt my back in an accident.
Don't tell me.
My sciatic nerve, and every once in a while I'll be doing like just nothing, and all of a sudden, boom, and it flares up for whatever reason, and literally it hurts. I mean, all the way down my leg to my foot, it's just a stabbing pain. It's like somebody's got a knife sticking you right in your center of your, right above your tailbone, basically, and it hurts. And then they're like, "Oh, is it ever going to stop? Stop hurting?" And then it goes away, and you're like, "Oh, I feel good." So
And then you're back at it again.
So something to get better at is physical. I think that's so important for
That's a huge
hunters.
one. That's what one of
overall,
the points was.
you have to be in physical shape to do this.
Well, dude, how much better is it to go into season film? We're gonna feel. I'll guarantee me and you both, because I've been the same way. I've been doing the elliptical, and I started doing the treadmill because that elliptical was like too short of a stride. It's like it's irritating. But how much better? I already know myself and you are gonna feel so much better going into the season. I mean, we may still huff and puff, and maybe because you can't ever emulate what you do hunting. Like you could do the stair stepper at the gym for 2 months, hardcore, and then go to Alaska like Talon did, and you're still eating your lunch. You're like, dude, I did all that, and I'm still. But you just don't realize how bad you really would have been if you wouldn't have did that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think me and you are gonna go into this season feeling, and I mean, even you at your age, just because you're skinnier and you're not overweight and all
doesn't
that stuff,
mean you're conditioned.
doesn't mean you're conditioned for it. And so today, like me and Thomas, we've been wanting to do this for 2 years. It took that long. Finally got a bag in, and we were wailing on that. In 30 seconds, we were a little hot, but we have an air conditioner in our home gym, and we work out doing powerlifting all the time, and which is not it will get your heart racing. It will build up strength, I believe, in your heart, and a little bit of stamina, but not the same as cardio, obviously. But we hung that bag
definitely
today.
not a conditioning sport.
No. No. But you don't have to be fat and sloppy doing it either, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we just do, guys get that way. They're known for that. But we hung that bag up, and I put my gloves on. He put his gloves on, and I went for about 30 seconds, gassed. Then he went, and we're swinging pretty hard at it. He went for 30 seconds. I went for 30 seconds. Then we did it for 3 times a piece. Soaking wet, dude.
Yeah.
Soaking wet, out of breath. Even him, he's sitting there breathing heavy. He's got a super physical job.
Yeah.
And it's like, it felt so good though. I left your house, dude. I called Sarah. We were talking about something else. I said, I feel so good right now. Like, I feel good. So part of getting better is, and the physical aspect of it is feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
Dude, when you don't feel good about yourself, you feel like garbage.
Yeah.
You don't have motivation. You don't have drive. All that stuff starts going down the toilet, and then you're not getting better. You're getting worse.
Yeah. Last year, one of the places we hunted, I mean, I've been out there before, and yeah, it's a tough walk. But when you're looking and you can see where birds are going,
and you don't want to go,
there because you're like, is it worth it? Then I've never been like that, and I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
Because I've always been the kind of person that's like a go-getter. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Yeah.
And you guys have hunted with me. There'd be times when I'll change ponds 3 times if there's
You don't
nobody
do
out
that
there
anymore so much.
You know what I'm saying? Just because there's birds working over there, it's like, why do they want to be there? I need to go there. Like I drove my kids nuts switching ponds.
Oh, all of us.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do that too, though. I mean, we learn, that you got to do that to get where the birds are at. So I'm pretty stoked that you're taking it that serious, because I mean, we've been hunting together a long time. And I mean, honestly, dude, when you were coming out of that pond last year, I was a little concerned. For real. I mean, I knew you would get out of there, but I was like, I honestly, and I'm not, hopefully you're not take that wrong, but
I don't know.
I've told you that in person.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't want to see that. Like, cause I mean, to me, you have a ton years left.
Yeah.
So, and I know you won't stop. You're not the kind of person that would just sit on the couch,
least.
but
Got
at least 40 years
more
for
seasons
sure.
in me.
If I die in the pond, that's fine. I wouldn't mind dying on it in the duck pond. Just
Bet your wife
over.
would love you hear you say that.
she don't care. Then you just leave me out there. You don't even have to bury me or anything.
Just leave you floating.
That's legal. I don't even know. But I mean,
how do you guys feel about better getting about calling? Because I don't know.
I take that seriously.
I don't think that. I think that I cannot get better at calling than what
Yes,
I am
you
right
can.
now.
But what
because I don't.
we just talked about this.
Really? Yeah, I don't think I'm like learning anything.
I don't think you care right now, too.
new.
Though.
No, I mean I killed birds. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Let's not even talk about that.
But I feel like I can't learn anything new on a call.
Yeah,
Because I've tried.
What are you emulating though? What are you listening to emulate? And I'm talking about real birds. We talked about this. You can and you will because we're hunting together and we're all gonna. I mean, I got the soundbite from Chasen Green. Did you ever watch his video?
Yeah.
He's gonna come on the podcast too, but he's not giving a tutorial. I do not watch. Oh, okay, let me take that back. The guy Brad
Allen.
Brad Allen's
World championship
incredible,
caller.
3-time world champion
Elite
duck caller.
calls.
If you want to practice getting better at duck call, if you're listening to a human, he's the best for sure. But I will say,
He has great tutorial videos. on YouTube.
great. If you literally don't know how to call, or if you need to get better, I'm telling you, go to Elite Duck Calls on YouTube, find their channel, and go to his tutorials. There's another guy on there that does spec calls, really good.
Who's that young guy that we talked to? He's a
the kid?
championship caller also.
The
That
kid, Caden.
Caden. What was his last name? You remember?
Well, shoot, I can't remember.
We had him on the podcast.
Yeah,
a while
that was
back.
a while back. That was
a
like
long time.
first 2 or 3 episodes,
Yeah.
I think. But anyways,
He's a great caller too.
I like Brown because he teaches you how to use
Your air.
your air. Okay. But, and he says this, when he does a quack or when he does even a feed chuckle, man. I mean, I may irritate some people saying this, but like if you listen to live sound bites of actual birds, which like I said, Chasen Green has a good video, and I've been practicing to that for like the last 3 weeks. You're welcome, giving you views. But it's really good. The quality is really crisp and loud and clear, and you can turn it up real loud in your truck or wherever and blow to it and still hear them and you call at the same time. It's not nothing like what these guys do that are usually calling, or what we even do sometimes. I told you that. Like some of the things that we do, like if we had a call, like, is there a call over there somewhere?
Well, there's some calls that ducks make when they're on the water, and other calls that they make in the air, and sometimes you hear people making the call that they make in the air when your decoys are on the water. If that makes any sense.
Oh, right there, Thomas, in that. Right there to the right, to your right. To your right in the plastic bin. Farther right. Your other right. There should be some in there. Bring a couple of those over here. There's the Drake Mallard too. Actually gonna do a YouTube video on this. But so don't blow it in the mic, Travis. But
I'm not gonna blow anything.
Yeah, you are. Just blow for a second. This is what I'm giving it. What is wrong with you? Calm down. Here, blow this call.
I'm not a professional caller.
No one said you were. Oh yeah, never mind. I don't want you to
You don't want me blowing on your calls?
Okay, let me do this. I'll do it. This is something I took from you, and I'm not saying it's wrong. But you already know, like, okay. Well, you don't really do that, but you do this. A quick, it's kind of like that, somewhat. It's not exactly how you do it. I know you want to blow it so bad right now.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. I'm not saying nothing bad about it, but I'm saying listen to the sound files. Talking about getting better. Really, there's not a lot mallards do. They don't do all this. Everybody knows this. If you duck hunt, they don't do high balls. They don't do that. That's obviously to get attention, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not down in that. I'm not saying I know everything about duck calling. I'm not saying I don't do that stuff. What I'm saying though is you asked about getting better in calling. What is getting better? Being able to do all this fancy stuff and be able to go to some competition? That's not getting better. You'll have better control. But if you want to get better, to me, do what the real bird is doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Sound more like a real duck.
Real duck. Isn't that getting better?
Yeah,
I mean,
you would think so.
I'm not saying, like I said, to do what those guys do is incredible, and I'm jealous, honestly. I wish I could do all that. A lot of them don't use it in the duck blind because it doesn't carry over. It's not what ducks do, and they know that. But like a lot of guys, I feel like that hunt in the timber, I like how they call because they sound like to me like ducks because it's so echoey and so loud out there.
Yeah, acoustics are different.
The acoustics are so good, and
we don't get no echo or reverberation because we're open water.
It's open
hunting.
water.
And
yeah.
a lot of too is knowing when to call. That's sometimes that's.
I'm not irritating
just
you
as
by saying that.
No, but sometimes that's just more.
I don't feel like you agree.
As important as what you sound like. Sometimes,
Right.
but you do want to try to emulate a duck as closely as possible.
Dude, most of the time, ducks are quacking. The hint number one, it's the hens that are calling.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, they're mainly just quacking like wah 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 or wah wah wah. They're not doing much other than
But
that.
not at the tempo. You don't want to blow at the tempo when they're taking off, flushing.
Right. But I'm just
quack versus
right.
Versus
So,
just
like I said, that one video to practice to that, to me, that would be just seem like, I feel like, I don't know. Last year in Washington, when we were calling, I thought we sounded really good. Like as a group, there was 4 or 5 of us blowing calls. I thought it was really sounding good. Sounded like a big group of ducks. You're going silent on me, Travis.
I'm listening to you.
I've offended thee, my brother.
I'm not. I don't get offended.
I think.
I know, you just get quiet, so
we
I
could
don't know what you're thinking.
always get better. I think, whether or not, I don't know.
For sure.
I really do. I mean, are we championship callers? No,
I'll
never claim to be.
Never will
listen,
be.
Listen.
Not saying we have to be.
Let's just listen. So what's that right there? That's just
duck chatter.
That's just like a Drake Mountains.
Birds on the water. Exactly what we heard when we were in Kansas. There was like 10,000 birds on the water. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's a great sound.
Guys, I know. Guys don't
we
mind
could
listening
just
to this.
listen to that.
Let's just listen to this for a second. You hear that one?
Thing too is birds sound different.
They all sound different.
Not every duck sounds the same.
They don't sound good either, always.
No.
They don't sound perfect.
Sometimes they sound terrible.
Yeah.
Young birds that don't know how to really call
Yeah.
it, they don't sound good at all.
Or got food stuck in the back of their throat, and they call that the
Some are higher
Cajun squeal.
some are higher pitched, some are deep. You know, they sound different for sure.
Yeah.
So no, I think you can get better at calling and that sort of thing. But I don't know if I can get better.
You can get better.
I've practiced.
Oh, I know.
And
Everyone
know
can
that.
get better.
I mean, I blow my duck calls quite a bit all year
But
long.
seriously, have you
Driving
ever
the
sat?
crazy.
Have you ever thought
But
about?
the thing is, how often do you try to do different things, new things, or how often do you pick one thing that you know you're maybe not great at or amazing at, or you like to be better, and just practice that one thing? Do you do that? I mean, is there anything that you think you need to do that? That's the thing, is you don't think you need to do anything better.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't. know.
Is he not acting weird?
I don't
right
know.
now?
I don't know what I need to do better.
We're not
I
picking
don't know what
on you. We're
no,
not
I know
saying
you're
that
not.
you do.
I just don't know what I need to do better.
Yeah.
I guess.
In other words, you're saying what you do has worked,
it works.
so why mess with it?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to get better at something. I just don't know yet what I would need to work on to get better, I guess.
Okay, why can't you listen to that and just emulate that?
Oh, of course I could do that. I could do that. I don't know what you want me to say.
I don't know. You brought it up. I'm just saying. Like,
I'm just saying this as a
Why
topic
would
of
you
how
make-
can you get better.
Listen, let me ask you this. Why would you make a copy of the copy? Are you gonna be legit with that? You're never gonna get the best thing you can get by making a copy of the copy. So I'm saying you're listening. If I'm listening to a guy that's trying to copy a duck, I'm gonna be better off listening to real ducks,
Well, yeah.
right?
Yeah. I don't.
You brought it up, and then you're acting like I'm trying to tell you.
No,
you
I'm
don't
not.
call.
No, I'm just saying. I have a certain way I call, right? Whatever.
Everybody does.
I could probably be better at it, but the more I
How?
practice, I don't get better.
But what's better?
What
I
is
guess
sounding more like a duck?
This is gonna take a while.
This is deep. No, let's talk about this.
And the more you sound like a duck, the more you want to sound like a duck, right? That's what a duck call is, to emulate a duck, not to emulate somebody else.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Calling.
I bet you can relate to this. Playing the drums. Did you ever get to the point? Because we both played the drums. You're way better than me. But did you ever get to the point? It was like you weren't learning nothing new and just started getting boring. Like you just didn't enjoy it as much more. You were kind of always learning new stuff, so maybe you can't relate to that. But I just felt like I topped out.
No, yeah.
And I feel like that was like that, or is like that, and can be like that with calling. It's like, okay, I get in this set pattern. We talked about
We've
this.
done, yeah,
We get in this pattern of how we call,
yeah.
and then it stays that way all season long.
Uh-huh.
And some things I do, I'm like, that doesn't really sound like a duck. That doesn't, to me, in my opinion, that doesn't. I mean, it's a quack and it's a mixture of things, but it's not replicating a real duck. And why am I blowing it like that? Because I hear Travis blowing it like that. Because I hear you blowing it like that, and we were around each other so much in the way we blow duck calls. You're with the people you hunt with.
I don't really
you start
feel like
emulating
I do that much different things though. I feel like I'm basic as you can get.
Which is That's all.
It's fine for me.
I feel basic.
I feel
dude,
basic.
how much can you do with a mallard call? I'm saying all these dudes quacking.
Right.
I'm trying to get their attention, and then I'm trying to keep their attention, and then I'm just trying to coax them right in.
Well, you brought it up getting better at duck calling, so all I was saying
All
is,
right, I'm just saying that could
why
be
don't
something that you're trying
if
to
you
get better
wanna-
at.
I do. I always do every year.
And two, like I get dissatisfied with my calls. Like sometimes I like my widgeon call sounds like, oh, this sounds good, and other times I think this call sounds horrible. And my till call, sometimes like my till calls, like they're responding like, okay, this is working good. Other times like they don't
This
work.
you talk about a rabbit hole.
This is a rabbit.
It's a
My
rabbit
goodness.
hole. What
Well-
else can you get good at?
Well,
We maybe should just move on.
let's move on.
All
Travis
right.
We
doesn't
might
want
have
to get
to
better
have
at
an
duck calling.
after podcast
All
discussion.
right, let's do this. Let's talk about getting better attitude.
Boom.
Attitude. What do you mean?
Like any way you want to take it. Look, I like to see where you're going to go with this. One of you.
I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
I would say that out of the three of us on this table, I can hold the attitude better than you guys can.
What do you mean by holding an attitude?
Yeah, because
Are you saying a positive attitude? Like this is going to be a good hunt?
Positivity.
No.
Absolutely.
You're nuts, dude.
And I'll tell you why.
Who almost left
we
last
go.
year and who
Here we
begged you
go.
to stay?
It
And what
took us
happened?
33 minutes into this podcast
Okay.
to
What
get the heat
happened?
going.
Okay.
You were going to leave
Here we go.
and walk
Let's
away.
start. Let's start with
Let's
this.
do it.
First of all,
I'll agree with that for me.
for sure, by far. And
But
you
remember,
know, and you know
I
it.
do everything, right?
Yes.
Dog, filming,
Titus carries the heavy load.
putting us in the right spots.
He does all the
setting
heavy
decoys
lifting.
up perfect.
So the weight of the world is always
Heavy
on
lift,
Titus'
baby.
shoulder. So
It
if things
is.
don't go right, he's just.
I take all the blame.
So, okay, Travis, let's hash this out right now. Last year, a great hunt for both of us, besides my shooting, which was terrible. There's no arguing that. It was absolutely terrible.
You don't even have to say
I
nothing.
should have had a full limit, probably 5 greenheads at least.
I was out of shell, so I almost made me a bow and arrow out of the reeds. That's how bad
Travis
it
was literally freaking out because I was missing the easiest shots. It was ridiculous. Talk about getting better. Have some good shooting.
Yeah.
But
That was part of it.
But seriously, so this day I was kind of trying something different because to hunt this pond, it's literally the walk of death. So I tried to take my canoe around and come in from a different way. Well, that was not quite going to work because there's literally the wall of China in this in this pond. So when I tell you I had to work harder than probably most people would, it was just miserable. So we were like the only two out there, which was great. But I had went around the back, couldn't get through for probably, I probably wasted an hour at least.
And I would hear him hauling every once in a while. I'm like, where's that
I
joker?
was trying to get to him. Well, so I come around back the other way, and I'm hollering, not hearing him.
I hear him a mile on one side of me, then I hear him a mile on the other side of me, and I'm like, where's this guy going?
If Travis is here, I'm going all around trying to get to where he was. Wasn't working out. Ended up, I just walked the normal way. Took forever. I was soaked. It was terrible. Anyways,
in sweat.
I literally, I was so frustrated. I was like, I'm just gonna leave. Like I'm gonna leave. Forget this. And then as I was about to do that, I heard Travis yell, and I was just like, oh. I told him I was gonna meet him out there. I had the decoys. I was like, I can't leave him. So I walked in there. Finally got in there, and we had an awesome mallard shoot. You shot
5, I think.
You shot 5.
6. What do we end up?
I think you shot like 6 or something, and I shot 4. I should have had
Something
7
like that.
easy. Anyway, so yeah, like we shot 10 mallards, which was great. I'd be happy with that every single time. So that has nothing to do with positivity. I was just tired. I was
Okay.
smoked,
Okay.
dude. Anyways, whatever. But okay, let's bring this point up. Washington last year, we're scouting and haven't found any birds yet.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Was
there?
I not positive
This
there?
is Travis looking out the window.
Yeah, I got it on video. I have video proof.
Literally, a little bit of,
I was ready to go home.
a little bit of
Dude,
drool just hanging out.
Thank
the side
God
of
we
his
didn't
mouth.
say let's go
Just
because
like
he would have
this.
left right then.
Just like somebody shot his dog. His house is gonna burn down, and
we
it was
even have it
terrible.
on video too.
Well, you drive 1,500 miles and there's no ducks in the whole sky, and
There was not a duck in the
we
sky.
drove around and every place. And it's like,
Hey, did I get negative?
I think
No,
I did not.
you didn't get.
I think we're
I'll
going
give you
to
that
a
one.
smorgasbord, and it was like picking out of a trash can when we
Yeah.
first got there. So yeah, I was like pretty down. I was like, yeah, there must be not.
I was concerned, but I was not
no
down
birds
yet.
where we were at.
Yeah.
One more day and I would have been down. What were you gonna say about me?
Titus is a little more vocal with his. I have a problem with keeping things bottled up. Titus just voices every frustration or anything he has. So like, as soon as one little tiny little thing happens that shouldn't happen or you don't want to happen, you just like throw his hands out. Oh, this is blah 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 blah. You know, not too bad, but it doesn't take much for you to tip the scales.
But
Which honestly, towards the end of the season, you got better. So I'll give you that.
but there was a lot of reasons I get like that though.
Yeah.
I really was. Well, we'll see this year. We'll see how my attitude is this year. I do. I know. I agree with you 100%. Honestly, dude, if you watch some of the videos, like I said things in the video, like I'm just glad to be out here, like because you start losing, if you get focused on the negative stuff, and I feel like I've always been a positive person, but the last several years, like I feel like there's just been things that I've been dealing with that has made me negative, and I do not like that. I hate that. I don't want to be negative. I mean,
I've only been negative when we went to Washington. I was never negative.
no, you're
about
not
it.
really negative. You're not, dude. That's not my nature. Honestly, I've not been like that. Some people laugh when I say that. I'm like, dude, that is not me. I promise you. It's just I let
a lot
some
of
things.
people would say that.
And I don't care, dude. I know how
I can
how I
name
am.
one of them.
But
And
there's
he'll probably never listen to this podcast either.
who?
Starts with a J.
Jake.
Your best friend.
Oh yeah,
His best friend.
Hey,
one of my best friends.
by the way, where is Mr. Best Friend?
He won't come on this podcast.
Oh, he's nervous.
He's a little scared. Anyways, I never finished what I was saying.
Oh.
Life circumstances, work, new dog, filming,
Let me tell you.
excuses.
Let me tell
Look
you.
at, but let me finish this.
All right, sorry.
But what I'm saying is, sometimes you come to grip with yourself. You find yourself in a rut. I told you that. And even in the gym, it's like, I don't like being like that. I don't like being negative. I don't like having that attitude. I try to get better at it. Try, to pray and ask God to help me. And I get bet. Lord helps me. And then I just let, the whole flesh get in the way and get ticked off, mad, very easily frustrated. I don't like that. So what I'm saying is, in the season though, last season, and you can notice it on the videos, I'll be like, some of the videos I start out like, you know what, I'm glad, like sincerely. I was like, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm literally, I don't know, if we don't shoot a bird, I'm honestly just glad to be out here, be with my friends, be out here duck hunting. And it feels so good to feel like that. It's not a good feeling when you're stressing about getting birds and you're stressing about your dog and it shouldn't bother you like that. Nothing should bother you that bad.
No.
It really shouldn't.
Uh-uh.
And so you were right. The last month and a half, season 2, I just let that go. Stop feeling that way, and started having a lot more fun.
Yeah,
dude.
that comes back to kind of what type of person you are. There's some people that always want to like get better, and then there's some people that are just like, like they're satisfied or they're happy or don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just generally don't care. But there was a lot of things. Like last year, honestly, I feel like it was a better duck season for us.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky was on point. Like he was good. Like, you know what I mean? We didn't.
You know what, dude? I think 2 years ago bled over into last year to the beginning part of it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of frustrations. I mean, we got frustrated at each other. There was things I was frustrated about.
Yeah.
You were frustrated with the new dog. So it was just,
I mean, and no big deal. Honestly, like, what's the big deal, really? But did you hunt with Titus at all 2 years ago?
yeah, we always hunt together.
Not every single time.
Not every time,
But I mean,
a lot.
there was.
He knows. I've told him. I've had to apologize to Travis. I'm being like transparent right now.
Honestly,
I've had to apologize because Travis is very easygoing, and then Travis don't say much, and then I start feeling guilty because I say stuff, and I have to apologize to him. Like, dude, sorry I acted that way. Sorry I got frustrated or mad. I don't like that.
Well,
I don't want to be like,
I think 2 years
'cause
ago.
he's like one of my best friends.
Oh, here we go.
Don't suck up to me now, man.
This is getting mushy, man. We're talking about getting better. This might be getting a little too
2
weird.
years ago, we had a combination. I feel like not a good duck season for us. First year dog,
It was terrible.
first year
actually.
trainer, first year. Well, it wasn't really first year videoing. Was it?
But it was more a little
It
bit
was
more
a
serious.
first year of like actually really trying to video everything, and camera issues, just a lot. So it was just more rough. But then last year, it seemed like things kind of started falling in place a little bit better and easier.
My job had a lot of effect on me too, dude. Because the job I had before, up until 4 or 5 months ago, was a bad place. I mean, money doesn't mean everything. I made great money, could buy and do the things that I have now, but it doesn't bring happiness. I know that. I've grown up in church my whole life. God, the Lord, Jesus living in your life is what brings true joy and happiness, right? So having Sika and having all the nice truck and having, that's not what brings happiness. I had the opportunity to purchase those things because I've always wanted good stuff.
Deep down, everybody knows that.
Everybody does.
Are rich people, famous people, are they happy?
No, they commit suicide just like everybody else
they're
does.
not. And you know that within your own life. Like, there's some things you're like, man, I really want that so bad. So, like, you can't get off of this one thing. And you get it, and it's like,
Yeah, that's what I tell my kids.
it
It's
doesn't
like,
bring nothing.
it doesn't. It's only
Really don't.
it's momentarily because I mean you could buy a pair of Sitka waders, but you know what? In 3 weeks you're gonna see something else that you want just as bad as you wanted them,
Absolutely.
and you're gonna get that, and you're gonna want something else.
No,
so,
absolutely.
So it's not about things.
I mean, it's good to have goals and
Yeah.
things, but don't get so fixated on,
No.
I have to have this year's new Dodge Cummins or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, eventually you're going to resent that thing because you're having to pay on it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, certain things don't bring you happiness. I don't know how we got on that, but
No, well, we're
Have a
talking
good
about
attitude.
attitude. It's I want to get. I mean, to me,
better-
that's key,
Yeah.
dude. Because you can get better at everything. You can get better in shape. You can get better decoy spreads. You can get better tactics. But you don't have a good attitude,
yeah.
dude. Number
It's
one,
for nothing.
nobody wants to hunt with you,
Yeah.
and that is the last thing I want. You know, I do not want to. That'd be terrible, dude, to find out that people have been talking about like, man, I don't even want to hunt with Titus because he's just always negative. That'd be a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like that.
Well, I
And-
think
and you
would-
guys have probably thought
even
that
with
before,
your
you know?
YouTube channel and all that. Basically, you're doing it because it's fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that if you're filming all the time and doing that, yeah, that can become a frustration and a load, whatever, because you're trying to build something, something positive. But at the end of the day, it's the memories that's gonna, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna last. You know what I'm saying? Spend time with friends, family, out there duck hunting, doing what we enjoy doing.
And I think that's what the people connect with anyway. You can't force all that stuff. Like, you can't
put it on and fake it.
No, it
It's not gonna
doesn't
be real,
work.
yeah.
It does not work. People know, it's not even fun. Like, you're basically, we already have a good time. We love to hunt. We love to do this stuff. That's going to translate into the video anyway.
Naturally, yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to try to kill yourself to like, I need to do this. I need to do that. That's not what real people want. That's not what real duck hunters, normal people want anyways. You know? They can relate with what we do now. You know what I mean? Not like some
the struggle.
some
That's what
show,
makes the journey.
some show
Right.
put on,
Well, that's what makes. It's hard to like comprehend this, but like what really makes the fun part of the journey, we always think it is not. I say we, but just in general, we think the fun part of the journey is the piles and how good that hunt was, and maybe not necessarily piles, but also just like I had incredible times where I shot 3 birds, but really what made that incredible was being with being with Travis or being with Thomas, and we threw up in the morning. We talk about that. The journeys is what makes the hunt amazing.
Yeah.
We can do a whole podcast on that. In fact, we'll save that because that's a good idea, actually. But the journey,
the story and
the story of it,
and the
to get to
struggle.
that point,
The struggle. Yeah.
the realities of it,
Yeah.
that's what makes the hunt memorable.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, I mean, let's take a step back. you're shooting birds, you know? I mean, like, it's
Yeah.
super fun, but like, how like absolutely important is that to real life? You know what I mean? No, you
For
know
the
what
whole
I'm saying?
scope of it. But
No, I'm not saying like,
I know what you're saying.
I'm not trying to down it.
we're being serious when we go out there. We're going out there to kill birds.
But what's
Yeah,
more?
absolutely.
What's
but
more?
if we don't, it's not the end of the world.
Well, and we
Right.
shouldn't have a bad attitude about it,
No.
right?
it's
Not that I'm saying you guys do. Or
basically
do,
obviously everybody wants to shoot birds. We want to shoot birds and all
Now, when
that.
somebody tries to steal a band, that's another issue.
Yeah. But I'm
not go there.
But what I'm saying is the being basically it's way different when there's people to share the good time versus like not. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Actually enjoying this podcast.
No.
Well, not that.
That day was hilarious.
Which day?
I
think-
throwing it.
I can't remember what we shot.
Those were different days though. Did we throw up on this? Were we throwing up on the same day?
different.
Are you talking about the day that when he was throwing up when we went?
That was his birthday.
That was after he
he
was
was
throwing up.
sicker than a dog.
The week before he threw up.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, the week before he was throwing up on the way. He was a pullover. How many times did we pull over for you?
I threw up
twice on the way there.
I threw up.
I pulled over for you twice.
Before I got to your house
Oh.
at R&N Market. I pulled over and threw up in their
If
parking
I was
lot.
that sick, I'd stay home.
Dude,
I don't know why I went.
why did I go? You couldn't have you outdo me.
Was there 3 of us that day you got sick?
It was me, you,
At
and
least.
Tom.
So that's 3, right?
Yeah.
Was Talon there?
And I was no, he wasn't there. We went in the back,
way in the back.
and I was thrown up the whole way out there.
Yeah.
You shot a
Ugh.
cinnamon that
No,
day.
I
No,
didn't
you
wanna
shot
shoot
that
nothing.
can. We
shot
shot
a
some
can.
mallards.
Didn't you shoot?
And we seen about what?
Oh, a blue wing
that
came
big
right
old-
over.
No, a flock of them.
Yeah, and I was so sick I couldn't even raise my gun to shoot him.
Yeah.
That was a bad day, but
see,
it was a memory.
See, how do you remember that?
Yeah, for sure.
How do you remember that?
And it's funny now.
There's certain things. There's like
It was
important
it was
things.
We were
tragic.
there.
There was important things that I don't remember, but how can I remember
And we didn't
that?
have a dog
Right.
back then either.
Life-changing. That would have been life-changing.
That's something you can get better if you can.
I'm trying to remember the
you got
day.
the
You can afford
time-
it, and the time.
you got the
afford it.
time and
and it don't take much
or can
time.
afford it, and you're willing to put up with a dog. Well, Rocky's been really good, but a couple labs I had, they dug and chewed and destructive and bark, and if you can handle all that, a dog is a great way to get better. Better conservation tool.
It is, dude.
It's
Oh my goodness.
just
Think
awesome.
about like if you really think about it, it actually gets me all pumped up because
You know
if
what
you
you should
think
do?
for reals, think about it, like there is nothing worse. Number one, in losing birds.
yeah.
Okay, but let's just go back from that. We already know that. But now you're shooting these birds. How many? And you're finding that your dog's finding all of them. How many birds or hens are you not shooting that are breeding more? I mean, how many hundreds of birds are saved by having a dog? You think of it just onesie twosie, like okay, he found let's say like 30 birds in the tulies that we wouldn't have found. Let's just throw that number out there. How many of those were hens? And then how many birds will that hen have in her lifetime? So you technically saved that many because you would have shot another one if you couldn't have found that one.
So are
to
you
fill your
saying,
limit.
So what about this though? Is it getting better if you say, you know what, to the best of my ability, I'm not going to shoot a hen this year?
Well, yeah, I would say that would be definitely getting better.
What do you think your percentage of hens versus drakes you shot this year?
This last
I
year,
have the numbers.
I bet you
Of
I
yours
shot.
from
I bet
the
you
app.
less than 5% of the birds I shot were hens.
Wow, that's pretty low. I believe you though on that.
5%? I don't know if mine is that low,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
pretty low.
very,
That's
very,
pretty low.
very low.
Probably the only thing that I probably
Hen
shoot
mallards.
hens at. I shoot hens. Is I'll shoot a mallard hen
Mm-hmm.
and green wings because when they're hooking it and the sun's
Yeah,
just not
that's
right.
That's
So-
super hard.
But like pintails, I
No.
didn't shoot a hen pintail all
No,
last
I didn't.
year.
I don't know if I did either.
I don't think I shot a hen.
tell you right now.
I don't think I shot a hen widgeon last year. I don't even know if I shot a hen gadwall last year.
And that you really can't tell. That's just maybe luck of the draw on that one. That's kind of hard to tell.
Sometimes.
Unless the lighting. I'm talking about the lighting.
Yeah. Honestly, the
don't know if
most
it
hens
keeps
I
track
probably
of that.
shot had to be mallards, and pretty low percentage.
Yeah. I
Honestly.
did shoot some hen mallards in Washington.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I did shoot one pintail hen. I shot 7 mallard hens.
I've got to.
And that's it.
I've got to keep track of that this year.
Dude, it's so awesome.
It is. Yeah.
We're talking about this freelance hunt stats that Elliot from Freelance Duck Hunting does. I honestly, guys, I really like it. I wasn't all into it right at first, and when I started tracking it, I'm like, I really like it. Gets your overall shooting.
Is that still online or is there an app?
No, it's online. They make it like it's an app, but it is online.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's so easy. It takes you just a few seconds to do.
If I remember my login.
Did you ever log into it?
Yeah, I need to save that.
It's nice, dude.
To my homepage.
127 birds last year. 37 hunts. 6 doubles. I need some triples. I didn't shoot any triples last year.
I shot a triple.
We know that.
One and only.
Stole all the birds from
I never
Travis.
shot a triple.
I did 2 in Canada, but
that was
kind of
so luck, dude. That was so
Why
luck.
is it luck?
Because
it does have to happen, right?
No. Oh, yeah.
But I mean, guys are gonna say when they hear that, they're gonna be like, well, if they were 10 yards from you, it's not that hard. It's not. It don't matter if they are 10 yards. It's still tough to do.
Oh, if they're 10 yards and on the water, you water swat them, then yeah, it's easy. I've done that before, but I don't count that as a triple.
No.
Something you did last year that I've never done is double on mallards though, with one shot.
That was so cool.
I've done it with 2, but never with.
Yeah,
Talon did it on pintails.
Yeah. That's
when
true.
when it was legal to shoot.
Thank God it was 2 that year.
Yeah.
Well, let's end that podcast here. That went really fast, but I feel like there's a lot more we can have. We might have a part 2 of that. We didn't even touch on shooting and all these other things, but anyways, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.